Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Unlocking Excellence with your main man, Coach Eric Schwefel. That's me. And today we are going to get a little bit real, right? Today's episode is called Life in Weeks. Life in Weeks. So I wanted to share a little story, a little quib of my life. And recently I decided to join a coaching mastermind, right? To join a coach that I had been following for a while. Now, what's really interesting about all this is it's one of the first actions that I took amidst the coronavirus, right? As soon as I own a gym in Louisiana, and as soon as my gym I got news that I would have to shut down the gym because of the quarantine and shelter in place and all this kind of stuff, within a week, I decided to hire this coach. What really prevented me, I guess, from doing it before was I didn't have a strong enough call to action. I didn't have a strong enough purpose as to why I needed a coach, right? Because I was doing well, I was making money, this, that, and the other. Well, as soon as that happened, right, I called my coach, and it's been an amazing experience. He's delivered so much so quickly, and I've done really well with the things that we've decided to do and how it's going forward, right? So that's done really, really well. And every single week, what he does is he has a couple of different people come on into his masterminds, and he gives them the ability to showcase what they do best, right? And we had somebody who came in and he told us about copywriting, and he gave us some of his secrets and his tips, and it was great. Like, it's very applicable to business, and it's very applicable to a few different businesses all over, right? So it's not just limited, I would say limited to fitness, but he taught skills that you can apply into any business, and it was great. The thing that caught me, though, not only was his information amazing, but one of the things that he highlighted was a poster that was behind him, and that poster had what's the right word for it? I guess just a layout of how much longer he had to live. So let me explain, right? There's this poster. It's called the Life by Weeks poster. I believe that's the name. There's a bunch of different ones. But it gives an estimate of how long you might live for, right? So it has the one that I got in particular, and I think the one that he had was 90 years of life in weeks. So it's something like 4,680 weeks or something like that. So it has all these little boxes, and what you do is you check off the boxes of how long you have lived, and it gives you an idea of this much of your life has been lived, and you have this much more in order to go. So I was like, man, that's really cool. I had seen it on Instagram ads before, I'd seen it on Facebook ads, but it didn't create enough of enough motivation in me to get this poster. And I was like, all right, well, it's cool, but it's not something that I really need. Well, what happened was the featured speaker, his name's Isaac Lara, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Go follow him on Instagram. He's a great, great guy, tons of information, lots of value. And so he said the reason why he had it is because he needs kind of that procrastination buster, right? He's all about the biohacks. He's all about productivity hacks. And he said, when I look at this thing, one of the first things that I think of is, man, I need to get on my shit, right? I need to be able to move forward quickly. I don't have that much time left, and I need to to elicit that sense of urgency. And of course, some of these words are my own, right? But I was like, man, this is a great idea. So as soon as the call ended, I went in, I found my poster, and I got it. And the other day I was filling it out, and I realized I needed to fill out some of it very quickly, right? 30 and a half years old. So I filled all that out, and I looked, and I was like, it had a little star at one place, y'all. And it said the average American male lives to 76 years old, right? And I'm 30 right now. So wherever you're at, think if you were the average American male, how many years do you have left to live right now? For me, it says 36. Oh my gosh, 36 years to live. I already lived almost half of my life, according to this thing. That's some pretty significant news, right? Like, if you only have 36 years to live, what happens afterwards? Well, nobody really knows that. And all you know is that you don't exist anymore. You're not here in the same capacity that you were. It even says, and it has a little star next to the average female lifespan, which is 81. So ladies, good for y'all. Lucky for y'all, take care of yourselves. Well, I thought to myself, first off, this automatically gives me a sense of urgency, right? And moving faster. Like, I don't have as much time left. But also let me realize too, like, all right, if I plan on living till 123. And if I plan on doing that, then I need to be purposeful in my action now in order to elicit the results in the future that I want. And I made this post on Facebook. I talked about it on Facebook and Instagram. And a friend of mine and a former client of mine, she wrote on there, she commented, there's nothing like facing your own mortality to give you perspective. And she had recently, and I believe she may still be, going through and fighting cancer. So truly, right? Truly, you don't know what's important in your life until you faced your own mortality, you might not be here anymore. Think about that. Really let that sink in. And that sunk in. It made me think, am I paying attention to the things that I want to pay attention to? Am I loving the people that I really want to love? Am I giving my heart and my life and my energy and my attention to the things that I really want? Or am I getting distracted? Am I letting my inner peace be disrupted due to someone else or something that I think is important and isn't really important? For me, it made me ask those questions. And it made me ask those questions of, do I want to continue to live the life that I've been living, right? Do I want to continue to make the same choices? Do I want to have the same decisions? Do I want the same habits? Do I want the same mindset? Do I want the same beliefs? Do I want any of these same interpretations and perspectives that I have, right? Do I want those same things? This little piece of paper that had boxes which represent the weeks of the amount of weeks which I have lived and will live has given me so much mindfulness and so much awareness as to what is truly important in life, right? Because you think about it, and I spoke with my girlfriend about this the other day. If you think about it, YOLO is so true. You only live once. And what happens after this? We all have our own interpretations, but you as who you are now, uniquely you, does not exist anymore. So each and every moment that you have when you face your own mortality and you give yourself perspective, each and every moment is precious and it's fleeting. As soon as we talk about the moment, it's gone, right? It's constantly a new one. It's constantly emerging. It's constantly becoming something that it was not. It is constantly being and existing and living, and we're constantly here. So the message ultimately is, what are the things that you choose to focus on currently, and do you want to keep focusing on those things? Because your life is only one life, and when you allow yourself to get upset about things that in the long run don't matter, then is that really valuable? Is that really worth it in the end, to focus on things that don't really matter? And is it really worth it to focus on things that upset you? And is it worth it to change the minds of people whose minds won't change, or to try to convince somebody of something they don't want to be convinced of? So I guess the focus would be to give those same lessons to you. It would be to really take a look at your life and to ask yourself, do you want to continue the way that you're doing things? And if the answer is yes, then hell yeah, good for you. Would there be anything that you want to change? Is there anything that you want to keep doing that you really like? And if the answer would be no, you don't want to keep living the life that you want, then what is it that you want to change? How do you want to be different? What is it that you would rather be doing, and how often do you want to be doing that? Listen, the answers don't have to be permanent. They don't have to be final. They've just got to be a starting point. And once you get the ball rolling, that's when everything really comes to a head and comes to, right? So the thing that I urge you is explore these questions, man. I don't know how many people in life really get the opportunity to think about this and to question these things and to live their life by design. If you're lucky enough to have the option of listening to this, and I don't mean because you found me, but because you have some listening device, you have some sort of internet connection, and you somehow went through a search engine and you found this, and you're lucky enough to be listening to this, then realize just how important you are, just how important your time is, and just how important how you spend that time is, right? Without getting too much into the duality, the principle of duality, you can think that nothing you do matters, or you can look on the other end of the spectrum and the other absolute and say everything that you do matters. And the way that you do it matters. And the matter and the manner in which you do it matters. So with that being said, I love you. I hope you have a great day. You are unstoppable. You are important. You are a significant part of this world. And I love you. And I am so freaking thankful for you. So if you got something good out of this, the only thing that I ask is that you share this bad boy out. We are international, and it's so cool, right? We're in Australia, the Philippines, Poland, Germany. We're over, of course, in the States. We're in Canada, and I would love to reach out and be able to touch every end of the globe. So if you found this significant, if you found this valuable, if it changed you, moved you in some sort of way, I would love if you could share this out. Remember, again, I love you. You are worth it. You are important. Everything you do matters in the way that you do it. And you are unstoppable. We'll talk soon. Peace.